Hello, folks. I am Alan for today's news. I will be reading and speaking about world news, interesting news to keep you entertained, and news to keep you informed. And I'm going to have some all kind of stuff today. Let's see what we got here. This is something I thought was interesting. This is from the Family Handyman. What does a red or yellow dot means on your tire? Do those red and yellow dots on tires mean the tires are on sale? Is there something wrong with the tires marked with these dots? Do the dots indicate where or when the tires were made? Nope, nope, nope. Here is what's going on with these dots because it's nearly impossible to manufacture a perfectly balanced, perfectly round tire. Manufacturer identify any irregularities with these dots of paint. The dots then help service technician correctly install and balance the tire, which I didn't know. Properly balanced tires and wheels are critical to driving comfort and safety, and those paint dots help make that happen. I said here, where are the painted dots placed? The yellow dots identify where a tire weighs the least. Latest the lightest point on the tire. The yellow dot should be lined up and directly next to the valve stem, which is the wheel's heaviest point. The red dot identified where the tire is flattest, the lowest point of a tire. The red dot should be directly across from the highest point of the wheel, which is usually indicated by a colored dot on a notch on the wheel. Didn't know the wheel had a colored dot. If a tire has a yellow and red dot, the red dot takes procedure when balancing the tire. Why are these tire dots important? The yellow and red indicate inconsistencies in a tire's weight, construction, and structure, which can cause them to vibrate when spinning. Vibrating unbalanced tires can negatively affect tire quality, fuel economy, and braking effectiveness. Among other things, the vibrating tire wheel assembly makes controlling your vehicle more difficult, especially at high speeds, and can increase stopping distance. I know that at usually around 50 miles an hour, if your steering wheel start vibrating, that means your tire's out of balance. I always knew that. Anyway, didn't know about the dot. There's more to read if you want to read more about it. The link will be in my description box. And here's something here I thought was interesting too. This is from Go Banking Rates. Government shutdown 2023. Will Social Security payments stop now that the debt ceiling has been reached? The U.S. reached its debt ceiling on January 19. The Treasury Department announced on Thursday, January 19. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says extraordinary measure has begun to migrate financial repercussions, but will those measures include pausing Social Security payments? Said in the past, Congress has avoided this by raising this debt limit, but House Republicans say they will not support another increase unless they get spending cuts or other concessions. NPR reported defaulting on the debt would be a first in U.S. history, said the New York Times, and it would force officials to choose between continuing assistance like Social Security and paying interest on the national debt. However, a House Republican payment prioritized plan will call for the Biden administration to make the most urgent federal payments if the debt limit is reached. The plan may also specify that the Treasury Department continue making payments on Social Security, Medicare, and veteran benefits as well as military funding, according to two people aware of the internal discussion as reported by the Washington Post. And there's more if you want to read more about it, in my description box. Okay, here's something. Never heard of this news reporting agency. Die Black Man. Weird. Anyway, I saw the headlines and I thought it was interesting. It says President Joe, I mean not President Joe Biden and the United States is inching toward World War III with China, which I do believe. The United States is inching toward World War III with China. All the lights on the dashboard are flashing. The pivot up to Asia, proclaimed by past Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, massive arms sales to Taiwan, the United States Taiwan Defense Command in Taiwan, the Quad with Japan, Australia, and India to inside China, the sale of nuclear power submarines to Australia with augmentation of U.S. Marine forces there, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, in your face, gratuitous visit to Taiwan. And there's more to this if you want to continue reading it. And see, usually if a article title, sticks out at me, I read it. Oh, there's something else I want to talk about too that I've been noticing, besides all these mass shootings are still going on. And lately too, they've been having a lot of, I guess the last few months, they have been having a lot of 5 and 6 years old bringing guns to school. This world is going to hell in a handbasket, believe me. Like just a few days ago, over around St. Louis area, they had this one guy, he killed the family dog, and then he bit the cop. So here's one here from Radar Online. Vladimir Putin promotes Russian general falsely reported dead to top military role. A Russian general previously reported dead in Ukraine has been promoted to a top military role. Radar Online has learned. Lieutenant General Audrey somebody was reported dead by Ukrainian sources in March 2022 after allegedly dying in a bomb blast shortly after invading Ukraine that February. But now, according to the Daily Star, Audrey is back from the dead and serving as the head of one of Russia's 5 military districts. Anyway, I don't believe all these counts they do, who died and stuff, how many died and how many got hurt, because they can't really count that. There's no way. They may say so. One country may say this other country general died, but he didn't. So everything is hearsay, You can read the rest of this in my description box if you like. Here's one from Outdoor Life. Here's what the ammo shortage reveal about the industry. In his 4 decades of running D&G Sports in Glasgow, Montana, Daryl Morehouse has never seen ammunition pricing and availability as unpredictable as this has been over the past 3 years. That's telling, considering the several ammo shortages he's seen through the years. Sure, some of what Morehouse calls crazy as dynamics stem from supply chain uncertainties and fringe buying fueled by the COVID-19 pandemic. But his view of the gun counter at an independent sporting goods store in eastern Montana isn't that different from the business manager of a bullet manufacturer in Utah. And you can read the rest of this in my description box if you like. Here's something from an article called 1945. Don't show Putin. Watch Ukraine use drones to drop grenades on Russian armor. Here, video footage shared on Telegram this week shows a Russian infantry fighting vehicle left completely destroyed after bursting into flames. The vehicle was destroyed by a Ukrainian grenade that was dropped from an unmanned aerial vehicle, which is a drone. The vehicle starts by showing grenades being dropped repeatedly on top of the tanks. Several tanks fell with the grenade bouncing off the hull and onto the ground, creating only small explosion. That's what I would think happened. Seconds later, however, the infantry fighting vehicle is seen engulfed in flames and left completely destroyed. Ukrainian drone operators were able to successfully drop the grenades precisely into the vehicle's hatch, setting the interior of the vehicle on fire. And you can watch, there's a video on it, I think. You can watch that later if you like. Read the rest of it in my description box. Drinking my coffee. Try and keep my voice from going hoarse too much. Here's one from the San Diego Union Tribune. Russian convoys claims West is determined to destroy Russia. A week before the anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the Kremlin Union ambassador claimed that the West is driven by its determination to destroy Russia and declared we had no choice other than to defeat our country, defend it from you, and defend our identity and our future. Western ambassadors shot back, accusing Russia of using a Security Council meeting it called on lessons learned from the failure to resolve the conflict between Ukraine and Russian-backed separatists that began in 2014. And you can read the rest of that in my description box. Here's one from USA Today. Water crisis in West. Massive reservoir. Lake Powell hits historic low water level. Lake Powell, the nation's second largest reservoir, and one that provides water and power to millions of people in Southern California, has reached its lowest level since its first fouling in the 1950s. Together, these reservoirs, fed by the mighty Colorado River, provide the water 40 million Americans depends on, despite the storms that brought heavy rains and snow to California and other western states in January. Experts say it would take years of such weather to replenish the West's water resources. Okay, let's see what we else do. Well, that's about it. Oh, here's one here. This is from Fox News. Mosul Arab, U.S. silent on UFO filmed by military over Iraq. A metallic-looking orb was filmed by a U.S. military spy plane in an active conflict zone, but the Department of Defense has declined to answer any questions about it. There's a video on this too. It's almost 8 minutes long. I'm not playing it. I might play parts of it. See what we got here.
I've been putting out information through my new show, which is at weaponizedpodcast.com, where we're breaking news. Me and George Knapp, investigative reporter out of Las Vegas, Nevada. You might know me from my films, Bob Lazar, Area 51, and Flying Saucers, or Hunt for the Skinwalker, which is on Hulu. So for the first time, the American public got to see an image. It was contained within a classified audio-visual briefing about UFOs to destigmatize UFOs.
Okay, if you want to watch the rest of that video, link be in my description box. So here's a 4-second clip of the unidentified phenomenon, a government coined phrase that means UFO has recorded by a reconnaissance, I can't say that word, plane moving over Mosul, Iraq in 2016. And let's see what else we got here. Here it says here, this is out of the KSDK 5 St. Louis. 5-year-old girl brought loaded gun to school Friday. Town and country police said. That's suburb of St. Louis County. And let's see, I told you about the red dot. Newsweek says the Supreme Court reconsiders case to reinstate Trump. Let's see what that says. The U.S. Supreme Court is set to consider whether or not to hear a lawsuit that seeks to remove Joe Biden from the White House and reinstate former President Trump to office. Woohoo! The Bruson versus Adam lawsuit claims that lawmakers have violated their oath of office by alleging failing to investigate a foreign invention in the 2020 presidential race, with allegedly rigged the election against Trump. The case is based on the claim that the defendants, who include Congress members Biden, Vice President Harris, and former Vice President Mike Pence, voted to certify that 2020 presidential election after receiving a valid request from 154 members of Congress to investigate unfound claims of electoral fraud in 6 states. Let's see what this says.
So we have some breaking news for you. In a CBS News exclusive, video of President Trump's deposition with New York Attorney General Letitia James has been released. Now, the video shows the former president sitting for a deposition last August during a civil fraud investigation. It began with some back and forth, but once the questions turned to Mr. Trump's finances, the former president invoked the Fifth Amendment, which he continues to do for nearly 4 hours.
That's right. We're about to show you this video. Only CBS News has this in just a moment. But we want to remind you, this case is connected. This deposition is connected. This deposition is connected to, should go on trial in early October, despite numerous attempts by President Trump's attorneys to push that date back. And this deposition is not from the criminal tax fraud case in which the Trump organization was found guilty last year. So with all that said, let's now bring in one of our staff.
Okay, this is 7 minutes, 40 seconds long. You can watch this later in my description box if you like. And that's all I got for you right now. And like, subscribe, come back at least. And thanks for watching. And until tomorrow, thank you.